Wait a minute. I thought Gene Hackman had advanced dementia. That's what we've been told, but his handyman, who worked with him for years and knew him very well, paints a very different picture. Hello, my friend. Perez Hilton here, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and I have been sharing with you all the developments in the very sad passing of iconic actor Gene Hackman, 95 years old, and his decades younger wife, Betsy. On Friday, I told you the very latest development that his 3 adult children, whom he had a strained relationship with, were cut out of his will. His wishes were nothing for them. They may try to fight that. It might not be easy for them. Watch my 2 videos on that if you missed them and you want to know more. But the handyman has given an interview and revealed a lot. Jesse Kessler worked for Gene Hackman as a contractor and handyman for 16 years. He also was one of the people who discovered the horrific scene at their house. In his first interview since Gene and Betsy's passing, he tells the Daily Mail, meaning this guy probably got paid to talk, the handyman contractor reveals he saw Gene driving in the area just 3 months before his death at 95. With advanced Alzheimer's. What? He was well enough to drive, allegedly, but then when his wife died a week before he did, he wasn't well enough to call 911? I mean, I guess that's possible. Dementia, Alzheimer's, diseases like that fluctuate in terms of severity, and perhaps if he saw her deceased, he might have been in a complete stupor. In the new interview, the handyman contractor reveals that Hackman appeared to be in good health, even though he allegedly had advanced Alzheimer's and heart issues. He reveals that he grew concerned after he had not heard from them in weeks. And then his regret in the delay in finding their bodies. I wish I'd gone in quicker. I might have been able to save Gene or the dog, he says, referring to one of their 3 animals who died. To be honest, it was awful. It was one of the worst days of my life, and I've had some bad days. To see someone like that, he trailed off, his voice quivering. I was hoping for a better outcome, that maybe they were out of town and they just didn't tell anyone, or they got locked in the wine cellar by accident. And the Daily Mail also, this is wild, oh my God. The Daily Mail obtained a picture of Gene in his car driving in March of 2024. Allegedly, that's when this picture was taken. He was driving up until 95, even though the picture was taken a year before at 94. Or he might have been 95 still. March of 24, 94, 95, whatever. You know what I mean? He was still driving up until the very end. So I think this guy, the handyman contractor, is telling the truth. Wow. But I mean, what? At the same time, if you have advanced Alzheimer's and you're driving, like, aren't you worried about getting lost? In this picture that I'm looking at, his wife is not with him. He was driving by himself on March 30th of 2024. Kessler, who runs Santa Fe-based Mud City Builders, had initially refused to comment publicly on the tragedy out of respect for the extremely private couple, but in speaking to the Daily Mail, he said that the harrowing experience and the misinformation circulating about the case had taken a toll on him, prompting him to seek therapy and to set the record straight. He probably got paid and he needed therapy. Okay, valid. Is he going to try to sue the estate also for like emotional damage? As their general contractor, this guy did everything for the couple, ranging from renovations, new construction, maintenance, and said he was in near constant communication with them. He says he last had contact with Betsy via email in the days leading up to when it is suspected that she died in early to mid-February. And this guy grew concerned when he didn't hear from either of them for days, although she's the one that mainly communicated with everybody. Initially, the contractor handyman thought that it was just a possible miscommunication or an accident before he began fearing the worst and decided to contact law enforcement. For the first week, he says, I thought maybe she was mad at me. I thought I had done something wrong. We have other projects going on, and I thought I might have slipped and said, oh yeah, we're doing this for this other person. So I thought maybe I'd got caught. I thought maybe I was in trouble. He then checked in with his employee, Dwayne, who also said he thought the couple was angry at him after he hadn't heard from them either. Quote, it was probably in the last 3 days where I decided, okay, something's wrong, and we started the process to determine what the hell was going on. It wasn't like we were just up there and just stumbled across it. It was a 2-week event that led up to us finally going in. We knew something was wrong. We were trying to get the process done correctly, not just walk on someone's property. Their efforts, however, took a little bit longer than expected because of a lot of red tape involved in gaining entry to the home, such as working with law enforcement and trying to get in contact with members of their families. Quote, we were having trouble getting hold of family members. It was taking too long, and finally, I just couldn't wait anymore. I just said, the heck with it, I'm going in. Kessler drove up to the security gate on February 26 and said he was about to go through when a security guard named Ron, identified by law enforcement as Roland Lowe Begay, happened to pull up. He informed him he had decided to enter the house, and the security guard, who had also known Hackman and Arakawa for years, joined him. Kessler confirmed that they only got a glimpse of Betsy, who was found dead on the bathroom floor, before Ron called the police, who later located Hackman's body in the mudroom. Ron is the one who called 911, and that recording has been made public. Kessler says, we did not enter. The door was open to the bathroom from outside. We looked in. She was close, and it was very obvious she was gone. I was told to stay out of the house and not to go in there. I was hysterical. I pretty much lost it. The handyman says he didn't know that Jean had dementia. He reveals that he had seen him driving about 3 months earlier and, quote, it was just 12 weeks ago. That was the last time I saw him, and he was driving and he waved at me. He knew who I was. He adds that we worked together for 16 years and I've had nearly constant communication with them. We'd communicate every couple days. It's just such a tragic story. I never thought I would be dealing with this, and I just never thought we'd lose them both. I thought Jean would live to be 100 years old, but I was kind of preparing myself for his death, but never her. I just want people to know that they were good people, and I think we should focus on who they were, what they did for the community. Both of them were fantastic people. And then he ends his interview saying, I'm going to be writing a book, and it's going to basically detail everything, exactly what happened. Oh, God. Get that money. All 35 copies. All right, thoughts on these latest developments? A lot of interesting information about his health and how well he was at the end. Thoughts? Let's discuss in the comments.